Hello and welcome to episode 3 of my Kubifaktorium tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be on continuing Kubifaktorium's tutorial. So in this episode we're going to be starting by expanding our territory and then recruiting some castaways. So let's zoom out, let's put it to play, and right, so we're going to need to build a bonfire. Remember, the simplest way to build anything, if you've already have one built, is to press the Alt key, left click on the item, the building that you want to clone. And now I just simply need to left click up there. There we go. Isn't that cool, without even having to open up the building menu? No other game I don't think I've seen that with. It's just such a cool feature. So many innovations on the Settlers, it's unbelievable. Right, let's speed this up. You can see the castaways up there. Right, okay, that's increased our range. Let's now mine off this dirt, get it out of our way, speed it up again. Clay stockpile's getting quite full, might have to increase it. How do you increase a stockpile if you've already got a stockpile? Well, the answer's simple. You just simply build another stockpile and just put the same resource in it. There isn't no way of expanding this stockpile without deleting it and recreating it. So it's just simpler by far to just simply create a new stockpile for that particular resource if it's getting full. So just to demonstrate, we're going to do that. I'm going to keep a gap for, yeah, let's do, I don't think there's much more clay, but just in case, let's make it a big one. There we go. Plenty of room now for them. And it's so simple to make stockpiles. We're going to need more wood actually, so need to do that as well. Notice it doesn't select the pine tree that's fallen down, so that we need to manually click on it as well. So you get the trees, you get oak and pine trees to start with, and two variants. One that grows normally up and one that will have fallen down on the ground, so you need to mine both of them. Oh look, they gained another skill level in harvesting, I believe. Right, okay, so time to do another campfire. Let's Alt left click that one and click up there. Right, okay, so do another campfire. Now I could do a road. Here's where the roads are. Do two different types. You can do a mud, which gives a 30% speed increase, or stone, which gives 60, but the trouble is you'll burn through your rock, so I may as well just do a mud road. Roads is definitely something worth doing. If you left click and then just drag the mouse to do the road and then release. Let's do the same here. let's do a road over here now. See, with mud roads it doesn't use any resources, so pretty cool. You can only do a certain length before it will not do it, so let's do that. And it's very intelligent with its pathing for the roads. In fact, much more intelligent than me. Okay, so we need to do another campfire. Oh no, we got the castaways. Right, we've recruited them. It would have said that, I believe. Okay, it didn't mention it there. Yeah. Right, okay, so now we just need to do this target of the wooden logs. So what we can do, we've got a ton of trees now within our perimeter, so select the mine and harvest, Alt left click and Alt left click. And there we go. So we got all the inventory targets and completed this tutorial. Let's go on to the next tutorial. You see it's nearly instant loading because it's so small. Takes no time at all. Really is a cool. Right, let's click play. Okay, so assign Berta to the workshop. In fact, I'll pause that just in case, because sometimes it moves on the text and we don't want to move it on yet. So assign Berta to the workshop. Colonists gain experience in what they do. Specialisation is the key. In this tutorial, Ansgar will do the carrying while Berta will operate the workshop. Right, okay, so Ansgar will do the carrying. Now, here's something important to realise, and a pro tip on when you want to have a specific person just purely hauling. If a character, one of your colonists, is carrying tools or weapons or anything else related to that, it's going to slow them down. So what you can do is actually make sure, so if I click on to demonstrate this, let's find Berta. That's Ansgar. Right, okay, so if I wanted to make Ansgar a pure hauler, thereby making him keeping him at his quickest moving speed, I would deselect all of the workshops, and then that way he will not carry, he's not equipped with any tools or any weapons, but if he did have tools, because when you assign a colonist to a workshop, he will then, if you have them in the stockpile, grab the relevant tools for that workshop. So by deselecting all the workshop means he won't be carrying any tools. What that means is he's going to move quicker. There you go, nice and simple. If he's not selected as a warrior, what that means is he won't carry any weapons. He'll move quicker. So there we go. I'm going to put it back to the warrior though, because I haven't got any tools in the stockpile anyway. So right, so I need to select Berta up here, and I need to assign her to the basic workshop, which is that one there. So it's actually done already, and that's why it's greyed out, because the game did it without me having to do anything. So let's move it on. Right, assign input stockpiles. Oh, here we go. The coolness is going to start. Factorio is going to kick in. We've had settlers up till now. Now we're going to start getting Factorio. Well, not quite actually, because the automation is going to kick in a bit later. We don't want Berta to run off to fetch remote resources. Assign input stockpiles to the workshop to prevent this. So link stockpile 4 to the workshop. So if we left click stockpile 4, right click the basic workshop, that's linked it. You see it's now greyed out. And same again for stockpile 5. Isn't that nice and simple? Hint, once an input stockpile is assigned to a workshop, only resources from assigned input stockpiles will be used. Workshops can have multiple input and output stockpiles assigned. You might think that's a load of waffle, but in actual fact that is a really important bit of information to digest. What it's telling us is, if I had a stockpile over here, massive stockpile full of wooden logs, I can then make a smaller tiny little stockpile next to the building type. I can set that stockpile to feed that building, and I can set the main stockpile to feed that small stockpile. So when you've got hundreds of buildings, by doing so, if your stockpile starts running low, you can then go around individually disabling the stockpiles so you can focus that resource on the particular building types. It's very, very good the way it does all of this. Right, okay, next. Now it wants to do create a link from stockpile 2 to stockpile 4. So 2. So now it's going to take just like what I've just said. So let's right click there, create a link from 3 to 5. Make stockpile 4 accept rock. So the output from this building. Oh, wait a minute. No, jumping ahead of myself. So this we need to tell it rock, because rock is what it's going to be getting from over here. Notice with stockpiles it doesn't work the same as when I showed you doing buildings to stockpile. So if that was a wood building and then I chose it stockpile, it would have automatically chose wood. Well, it doesn't do that for stockpiles, so I need to manually set it to wood. Remember, you have got this search up here, so if it was something like cotton, it'll jump it right down for you to find it straight away. Same for wool, which is right going to be at the end, so to do that, you can see, jumps it straight to it. So it's cool. Right, for this though we need to set it to wood. There we go. Set production. We will use our workshop to produce wooden boards and stone blocks. Set the production accordingly. Again, so we need to set the production up for this basic workplace. So we're going to tell it stone block. Notice when you click it turns green and you can select multiples, and we're going to left click now wooden board, so they're both green. That's done. Link basic workplace 1 to stockpile 6. So remember, just right click and it tells it the resource, and link to 7 now. There we go. So as you can see, you can link to multiple stockpiles. Now we need to tell it that this one is just for wooden board. Because I did that selecting right clicking, it's selected both of them. So we need to deselect the stone block. Now I need to click on 7 and deselect the wooden board. There we go. Tutorial's happy. Hint, you can control how much a workshop produces of any good by adjusting the size of the corresponding output stockpile. That's an important factor because if the stockpile is too big, he's going to spend all of his time just making one of them, and you're going to get a shortage of the second resource. So that's a great way for adjusting that. Okay, we're just waiting now for the inventory target, basically of 2 stone blocks and 2 wooden planks. So let's speed it up. And there we go. That's done. Next tutorial. As you can see there, use the upgrade workshop to upgrade tools and weapons, and that is very cool. Okay, turn your colonists into fighters. Most maps are occupied by enemy camps, which you need to clear to expand. Assign your colonists to be fighters. Here's where Settlers kicks in again, and just like Settlers, your colonists will gain combat levels. And here's something very, very cool. You can build a, get what the name of it is. Oh, it won't let me bring it up. Wait a minute. If I, oh no, it's greyed out. But you can actually build a practice dummy, a training dummy for combat. It's just superb. Okay, so we need to assign these to combat. So if I left click on the individual colonist and left click combat, simple as that. Do the next one. Can be difficult to select colonists when they're in buildings or on roads and such like. There we go. Once assigned, your fighters will automatically equip the best available weapons from the stockpile. Note that fighters will always equip weapons regardless of other jobs you assign them. And remember what I said previously about colonists carrying weapons and tools, it slows them down. So if you want to make someone just purely a hauler, then you strip them of weapons and tools. Actually though, I wouldn't recommend that because we're going to be using animals. So you don't really have to worry about that. Right, attack the enemy. So to attack the enemy, we left click on their campfire. Now it's telling us something important when we click the enemy campfire. It's telling us up here the enemy's strength, and it's telling us our strength. Now because this is the tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and attack. But if this were not the tutorial and we were on an island, I would build a practice dummy, get their combat levels up, and then go and attack them once my combat strength was 2 or 4 times the strength of the enemies. And down here it's telling you the enemy strength is low, so we can attack. Left click attack camp. It now is sending up our warriors to fight these 2 sludge, whatever they are. They're going to appear in a moment. There they are. Mini slimes called a pudge. So they're going to attack these pudges. Right, let's speed it up. There you go. So they'll attack one at a time, one on one. This is the damage they're taking. You can see the hit points going down, and over here you'll see the misses and hits that my colonist. He's only hitting for 4, but then his level is really low, so don't be fooled. He's only level 1. The skill is the level, so he's level 1 in combat. And there we go. Up here now it's telling us enemy camp destroyed. Yay. So we've completed that, destroyed them. That's opened up the way to the next tutorial. Ah, right. I think we lost a colonist then, didn't we? He was defeated by the monster. That's one reason. Is that him there? How do I get rid of that hint? Oh, you just right click, gets rid of the hint. Yeah, so you don't have to select them to see how much damage they're doing. You could see it above the creature's head. Your colonists cannot die in combat. When they get hurt, they will retreat to heal. Alright, so he didn't die. That's really cool, because I wouldn't have liked that. I don't want to lose colonists if I spend the time building up their skills. So they just retreat to heal. So that's cool. I didn't realise that, but now I do. Yeah, excellent. Right, let's go to the next tutorial. Okay, set up station and stockpile. Rocks are pretty heavy, so carrying them is slow. Using horses to transport them over long distances is much more efficient. Set the horse station in the top and the stockpile in the bottom to accept rocks. Here we go. Time to use other forms of transport. Our first one is horses, so no more of our colonists having to carry stuff long distances, especially if it's heavy, because then they move slowly. So now we're going to speed things up with horses. Oh, there's the timer. Okay, well, that's, I suppose, a good place for me to stop. In the next episode, we'll take a look at, I forget the name that it uses for it. It's the transport system, but yeah, it's fantastic. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, but we'll do that in the next episode. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.